Hi there, this is Doctor, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. And it is Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. And tonight I will be talking about WWE Payback. But I'm not alone. Joining me for this is none other than Michael 101591.
Hi, how you guys doing tonight?
All right, we have quite a few things to talk about with Payback, but let's talk about the two biggest things that happened on Payback. Number one, we got the return of Jey Uso. So, as you know, on the Grayson Waller effect, Cody Rhodes was scheduled to be his guest. And I remember on SmackDown, Grayson Waller was teasing that Cody Rhodes had an announcement. And I was thinking, what the hell could his announcement be? Like, what is he going to announce? Lo and behold, Cody Rhodes basically said that Jey Uso is now a part of the Raw roster. So Jey Uso comes out to a massive pop. They kind of have a moment, him and Cody Rhodes. And then Jey Uso super kicks Grayson Waller. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, for the Grayson Waller effect segment, I think that it did not need to be part of the premium live event for Payback. I think they could have just held it off for, Monday Night Raw. But considering Grayson Waller's on SmackDown, and we got this news of, Jey Uso being on Raw from Cody Rhodes, when I saw this, I'm like, all right, Jey Uso is on Raw now. At first, I was like, all right, this makes no sense whatsoever. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, Jey Uso, he's on Raw. He's being kept away from Jimmy and Roman and the Bloodline. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, WWE could do this. They could make Jey Uso a singles competitor for the rest of the year. And then as we get into 2024, have Jey Uso go back and insert himself into the Bloodline story. And then we could possibly get Jimmy versus Jey at WrestleMania.
Okay. I kind of thought that you're going to keep Jey Uso off TV until at least about Royal Rumble. I was surprised he came back so quickly. Like, he was only gone 2 weeks.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be out much longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought he was going to come back at the Royal Rumble. And Grayson Waller even calls that out. He's like, God, calm down, people. He's only been gone 2 weeks. Yeah. But I felt like this segment was not necessary. I mean, no. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, you take this segment out. What do you replace it with? Do you put another match? Do you make a match longer?
We could have just went right into Rhea Ripley versus Raquel.
Yeah, and you take this out, actually, the pay-per-view would have been at least, 10 minutes shorter than it was?
Yes.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the next big thing that happened. We got new tag team champions. Damian Priest and Finn Balor defeating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in what I felt was the match of the night. And that's Steel City Street Fight. Jey Uso, yeah, he got a new theme. Definitely.
Yeah, I gotta say that new theme is absolutely awful, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because all it is just, down since day one, it's just me, down one. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So what did you think of this tag team match?
I thought this was the best match of the night.
Match of the night, if you ask me.
It was match of the night. The crowd was so into it, and it sold me when they announced that it was going to be a Steel City Street Fight.
Same.
And I was really shocked to see Balor and Damian Priest win the titles from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I thought that Owens and Sami Zayn would have had a long reign with the titles going into maybe, the Royal Rumble or maybe even WrestleMania. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Same. Like, I was really surprised that the Judgment Day did win, because I thought Judgment Day losing would have played a factor into the ongoing tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Mm-hmm. But I guess they want to stall on that. And how do you start? You have them win the tag titles here.
Yeah. And now all the Judgment Day have the gold.
Exactly. All
So,
of Judgment Day.
now what does this mean with Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank briefcase? He could cash it in at any time if he's still holding one half of the tag team titles.
Yeah, that's true. But Freebird rule.
Hmm.
So wait. Under the Freebird rule, does that mean Rhea Ripley is part tag team champion?
I'm not too sure about that.
That's a good question to ask. Well, I guess we gotta wait and see if WWE recognizes her because Freebird rule.
I saw a lot of people on like a chat that I was in saying, "Oh, is Rhea Ripley going to lose the title tonight?" Now
I
that
think the
now
pressure
that
was on her to keep her title.
yeah,
Yeah. But speaking of this tag match, some spots that I really liked in this match when they put that trash can on Finn Balor and they got him like a piñata with
yeah,
the kendo sticks. Another spot that I liked was when they sent Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn into the penalty box and they emerged with Pittsburgh Penguins, cl- you know, shirts,
yeah.
and Kevin Owens is all bloody, busted open. That was a really cool spot. I popped for that.
Yeah. To which Michael Cole ended up calling that, "Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers," and I'm like, "It's hockey, Michael Cole, not football."
Yeah. I also like when Kevin Owens hit that swanton off the railing to Dominic through that table.
I
I
love that
was
spot.
I was scared because I thought Kevin Owens was gonna get hurt injured during that spot.
Me too.
I was like, oh my god.
He was
But
insane for doing that.
he was. But in the end, like we said, Judgment Day are the new tag team champions. And does this mean they're gonna keep main eventing Monday Night Raw for the foreseeable future?
Oh God,
It says, I
please,
think
every
Dominic
single week.
Mysterio would be more likely for the Freebird rule, or JD Madonna could be the third. Okay,
Yeah, because JD McDonough had a little hand in that
he
of
did.
them winning the titles.
And then, later on in the night, John Cena did interview Judgment Day. And they basically said, their family, their brothers fight, and that they were going to celebrate with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, because they kind of like tease like, oh, with Balor and Priest like fighting and going at it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they threw that out the window and not made that like a feud between them two.
I honestly think that's what's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen yet. I could see Judgment Day holding the tag titles up at least until Fastlane. I don't know if they'll go past Fastlane, but I definitely do think that if they lose the titles somehow, some way, they might blame Priest for those tag titles.
Yeah, because I heard there were talks of Priest leaving the Judgment Day, or if that's WWE's plan
If
for
that's the
Priest.
plan, they're definitely stalling that plan for right now.
I think that JD McDonough is going to be the next one to be put into the Judgment Day.
I think so, and I think Damon Priest is gonna get kicked out Evolution style.
Mhm.
Well, not necessarily. Okay, maybe not Evolution style, but he's gonna get the boot,
He's going to get the Randy Orton.
the Randy Orton treatment. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so Payback kicked off with that steel cage match: Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. I have to say, this was a really good match. The feud and the build to this was, but the match freaking delivered. They killed it. The ladies killed it. Some of my favorite spots was Becky doing the manhandle slam from the top ropes, that superplex from the top of the cage, and of course Trish and Becky paying homage to Victoria and Lita, who were the first women to have a steel cage match on Raw.
Yeah, I actually thought this was a very good match, even though this, in my opinion, was one of the worst feuds of the year between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. Just basically every time they were on TV, it's like, oh, I don't care what's going on. This feud overstayed its welcome, and I'm glad that tonight was the last time we get to see this feud.
Yes. And where do you think we go from here? At the end, Trish didn't seem too happy with Zoe Starks. Zoe Starks hit her with the C360. So is that Trish's next feud?
I think, Zoe Stark, after what we saw tonight here, turning on Trish Stratus, she becomes a baby face, and who knows what would go down for Trish Stratus. I mean, Yeah, Trish Stratus, take out Lita, and we haven't seen Lita since.
Yeah, to
So I
that.
think it's probably gonna be like that. Like WWE's gonna forget that and be like, okay, this happened, but we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get a Trish Stratus versus Zoe Stark match out
Well,
of
I
it.
guess we'll have to wait and see where they go. But as for later, Becky Lynch teased what her next feud is. So as you know, she was getting interviewed backstage, but before she can even utter a word, NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton interrupts and apologizes to her because Becky was never NXT champion. Now, I know I don't watch NXT, but I know what that came about. It came about because Tiffany Stratton said she was going to be a better NXT women's champion than previous women's champion. She was name dropping some NXT women's champion, and she name dropped Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch has never been NXT women's champion. Hence why she came to her and apologized to her. And so Becky said that maybe she would see Tiffany later. So this tells me that maybe Becky Lynch is going to go down to NXT and possibly feud with Tiffany Stratton.
Well, I know that's gonna happen. I mean, I like Tiffany Stratton. She's a good NXT Women's Champion, and as soon as she drops that title and WWE brings her up to the main roster, I think she's gonna thrive on the main roster. I think they're gonna book her very good.
I haven't seen much of her stuff. I've seen a little bit. I've seen tiny things here and there, but I haven't seen fully. As you know, I don't watch NXT. So
I mean, when she first started out in NXT, she had that whole like persona of talking to her dad on the phone. She'd be like, "Daddy, I've got all this happening to me and all like that." But then as her character progressed, she's not like that, anymore.
yeah,
And she's starting to become, more likable,
yes.
as a heel.
Okay, so definitely gotta check out some of her stuff for sure. So we get a John Cena segment. As you know, John Cena was the host of Payback. And he starts talking about how he's been a prototype of doctor, referring to his past personas as a doctor of economics and the prototype. And he felt that there was no better way to make tonight special than being the guest special referee for the Miz versus L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
As yeah, since this sets that sets it up, but it leads into that match. I have to say, I feel like this segment with John Cena and the Miz is kind of a little bit unnecessary. I think they just did it to kind of add more time.
Yeah. I would think so. That I mean, it's good seeing John Cena there. The only reason why he's back in WWE, he's going to be there for 2 months, is because of the
Of the
writers'
strike.
strike.
Yeah, that's right. So
So
you can. Oh,
there's
go ahead. Sorry.
many different scenarios what WWE could do with John Cena's time for these 2 months.
Definitely. I feel like this segment between John Cena and the Miz, you could have had on Raw or on SmackDown. Honestly,
Yeah.
you really didn't need to do this before the match.
I like the one the Miz called John Cena. You're like, oh, you're 50, you're almost 50, and you're still dressing like a Teletubby.
Kind of reminds me when The Rock called him a bowl of fruity pebbles.
You're Fruity Pebble.
So we had L.A. Knight,
Yeah.
versus The Miz, with John Cena being the special guest referee. Honestly, this was a really good match, and this was a must win for L.A. Knight, if you ask me. I like I said during my reviews, I didn't care what anybody thought. LA Knight needed to win this because if it didn't, it would say a lot about that supposed push that he's getting.
No, of
And
course.
this was a really good match. LA Knight won after he hit the elbow and the BFT to the Miz. However, I feel like John Cena's involvement in this match was totally unnecessary. I get they wanted to do a spot at the end with LA Knight and John Cena. As you saw, John Cena extended his hand to LA Knight. They had that moment where they were staring at each other, and LA Knight said that Cena almost cost him the match. And basically, John Cena was endorsing LA Knight, which is good. But I felt like you could have done that on SmackDown. You didn't. I feel like Cena's involvement in this match was totally unnecessary.
I didn't expect Cena to be a special guest referee for the match. It
Same.
was unadvertised, and I thought the match was decent between the Miz and LA Knight.
Yes, same.
I mean, the right guy ended up winning the match.
Yes. You know what I thought they were going to do? I kind of thought, okay, so I thought that maybe Cena was going to somehow do something that was going to cause the Miz the match, or actually no, better yet, I thought maybe they were gonna do something where Cena accidentally or inadvertently cost LA Knight the match and possibly set up something in there. But I'm really glad they did it because LA Knight needed to win this match.
I think there's something there, like after the match when both John Cena and LA Knight were on the stage, and John Cena put out his hand for LA Knight to shake it, and he was like, "Oh, it's a show of respect." LA Knight was hesitating to shake Cena's hand, so I think sometime in these 2 months that John Cena is here, I think we're going to get a match between him and LA Knight.
I think so too, and I cannot wait for that promo battle, for that promo showdown.
That's
John
going to
Cena
be
when
great.
because when John Cena wants to, he can go hard on you on the mic, just as Roman Reigns 2017.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised he held back on Jimmy Uso because he held back a lot.
I agree
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, he could have murdered Jimmy on that mic if he chose to, but he didn't. So we get the U.S. title match: Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio. I honestly felt like Rey Mysterio was gonna keep his title. I don't think Austin Theory was gonna take it back because I feel like there's a story being told between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, which I think might lead to a Santos Escobar heel turn. But no surprise here, Rey Mysterio won the title. That was a decent match, but no surprise.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I mean, but we've seen Theory and Ray go at it before
Mm-hmm.
with the title on the line. So
Yeah,
it's just rinse and repeat.
yeah, exactly.
And there's something that saw on SmackDown on Friday where you had Santos push Ray out of the way, and Santos end up taking the bump for Ray. So I think there's gonna come a point where Ray is just gonna be like to Santos, "Oh, you keep on helping me and helping me. I'm the title. I'm the champion." And there's gonna be a way that Santos is gonna get the title from Ray, and I think there's gonna be a feud between Santos and Ray
Yeah,
coming up soon.
that's what I mean by there's a bigger story to be told between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar here. Because, if it wasn't for Austin Theory attacking Santos Escobar, maybe Santos Escobar would be United States champion. Yeah, so we get the women's world title match: Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Um, I feel like there was a lot of pressure on Rhea Ripley to keep her title, especially after she helped Damian Priest and Finn Balor retain their tag titles. Oh, I forgot to mention another spot that I liked was when she speared KO through that barricade.
Oh yeah, that was great. I
Yeah,
couldn't believe
definitely.
that. And I
Same.
liked her attire. It was a
Okay.
tribute to China.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But I just feel like this match, uh, wasn't what it was meant to be.
I thought it was a mess, in my
Yeah,
opinion. It was such a mess. You could tell the pressure of Rhea Ripley trying to hold on to her championship.
definitely. I will say the one spot that I did like, you've seen the movie Dodgeball?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips of it.
That's another movie we need to watch.
Yeah, but I own it though, and never
Okay.
watched it.
So there is this one spot where Raquel kind of tells, where Rhea tells Raquel, she made her bleed her own blood. Immediately thought of Dodgeball, where Ben Stiller's character was like, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody," which I thought was so hilarious.
I gotta check it out now.
You do. That movie's like almost 20 years old, and you still haven't seen it.
Yeah, almost
But
20 years old.
yeah, but I kind of did feel like this was one of the weakest matches on the card.
I agree. It just was very slow, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
But because of that, now Judgment Day still has all the gold. So our main event was a world heavyweight title match: Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura coming out with that really cool comic book entrance. This is the
I
first
like
time
that.
Nakamura main event of PLE. The Great Muta was in the crowd. Kind of makes you think that Nakamura was gonna win this, but he did
I was
not.
I was shocked that Great Muta was in the crowd there.
Same. I kind of thought that maybe okay, something gonna happen with the Great Muta. Is there gonna be like a spot?
I thought the same too.
Yeah, like is he's gonna spray Seth Rollins with the mist? You know,
Mm.
but that didn't happen. I kind of felt like this match also too was not what it was supposed to be. You know, you had Nakamura thought this entire time teasing about Seth Rollins' back. He didn't really target the back too much here. I wanted more, you
There were
know.
there were points where he targeted Rollins' back.
Oh well, yeah, but I thought it was gonna be like thought the whole match, and it was just a few spots. You know, that table spot I feel like was probably like the nastiest spot.
Yeah, that table spot was nasty on Rollins, especially with Rollins having back problems.
Yeah. So Seth Rollins wins this with a stomp. Now I feel like the ending was just kind of felt flat because you had Seth Rollins, the camera's like zooming in on Seth Rollins' face. You could visibly see Nakamura, on the outside. Let me see, Chit Chat Gaming said great PLE tonight for sure. Heard Nakamura attack Rollins after it went off. I was about to get into that right now. So like
Oh,
you see Nakamura walking on the outside, you're thinking, oh, I thought, I don't know about you, but I was like, oh snap, Nakamura's about to attack Seth Rollins. There's still time left. Are we gonna see Nakamura attack Seth Rollins and then maybe Damian Priest, come out and try to do a cash in?
nope.
Nakamura attacks Seth Rollins at the end, like after it went off the air. So it's kind of like, why didn't they show this on TV?
I didn't
They
even
should have.
know that until Chit Chat gave it and collect and said that.
You did it?
I didn't know about that. I didn't know that Nakamura attacked Rollins after the show went off the air.
He said, yeah, the ending was kind of odd. I agree with you. Yeah, thank you for agreeing with me. Yeah, I just feel like the ending felt flat. Like I wanted to see something more, and they didn't give us that. So I kind of felt like that brought the pay-per-view down a little bit.
I thought it was a good match for what it was. Rollins and Nakamura worked really well in the match. I thought there was some good wrestling from both of them, but still, Nakamura, I think, should have just focused on Rollins' back, to like tell the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he focus on the back. Even if you didn't get the post match beat down, you focus on the back. You could have had like Rollins like be like, oh, like limping and trying to grabbing his back. It could, like, let's say for instance he could barely stand. Then you could
Selling
have
it.
maybe teased. Yeah, he could have sold that. He could have sold it, and you could have had like again, maybe Damian Priest comes out, tries to cash in or something.
Exactly.
But overall, I honestly didn't think tonight was a bad PLE. I think it started off great, but it kind of ended on a low note, especially with that ending.
I thought it was a decent show. I mean, it wasn't a great show by any
W-
means, but it
Yeah,
wasn't bad.
wasn't a Sean Spears. It certainly was not a Sean Spears perfect 10.
No, not close to all in standards.
Oh, speaking of All In, we'll be curious to see how All Out holds up to All In.
I'm not hyped for it.
You guys think Owens is injured? He seems to be holding his arm side. Then that pop-up powerbomb on JD on the announce table, he didn't even put him through, just like he pushed down on the table.
Well, Owens
Again,
just came back from injury.
yeah, maybe he was just selling. Maybe he was just selling it. We don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything.
I think maybe he was just selling it.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is pretty good at selling. So Chit Chat Gaming says he gives it an 8.5 out of 10. I had to agree with Chit Chat Gaming. Pay per view started off fantastic. We had, as Sheamus would say, banger after banger after banger. But we kind of lost the people with the with Raquel Rodriguez
Rhea.
versus Rhea Ripley. I felt the Cena with the Miss segment was kind of unnecessary. And the whole Grayson Waller effect,
And
you
then you
know,
had Cena before. I think it was the main event. He was being an interviewer. He was interviewing Balor and Priest, and he was wearing
yeah,
the gray coat with the pink bow tie.
yeah,
It was
definitely.
hilarious.
It was. But I just feel like the Grayson Waller effect was not necessary.
No,
You could have done that on Raw. You could have done that on SmackDown.
it was a waste of time.
It was. But then you ask yourself, okay, if this wasn't on here, what do you do? Do you add a match? Do you make a match longer?
They
You
should have
know,
made a match longer.
what match could have gone longer?
Of how entertaining it was, the street fight.
They should have gone on to the streets of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
We
but
haven't.
there were points where WWE went outside of the arena back in
Yeah,
the day.
we haven't had that in a while. Cena as host was cool though. I like the idea of host. Yeah, I didn't mind seeing John Cena hosting the payback, but overall, that was a decent pay per view. Just
Same.
you know,
Wasn't great.
wasn't like I said, it was not a Sean Spears perfect 10. All right, what would you say was match of the night or your favorite match?
My favorite match of the night was the street fight with Balor, Priest, and Owens and Sami Zayn. I thought all those guys worked really well together. I liked the steel cage match between Becky and Trish. Thank God that feud is now over.
Yeah.
I actually thought, Rollins and Nakamura was a good match, but it wasn't great. But I thought it was fine for what it was.
Let me see, that tag match was damn good. Garbage can, shots to the head, blood, big table spot. Seems like they gave them more freedom. Match of the night was street fight. Yeah, match.
There was actually blood in Rhea Ripley Raquel Rodriguez match where Rhea Ripley was bleeding.
That's why I
I
said
think
that
from a
dodge.
nose.
That's why I said that dodgeball spot where Rhea Ripley was like, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody."
Oh,
And anybody who's seen the movie Dodgeball knows what I'm talking about.
that's why I still haven't seen it though. I haven't
That
seen
or
it.
Zoolander. But to be fair, I haven't seen Wayne's World, so we're even.
Party time, excellent.
All
I always say
right.
whenever Nick Wayne does his Wayne's World.
All right, Michael, where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me at my channel down here, Michael101591. I do Monday Night Raw reviews every Monday, AW Dynamite Wednesday, SmackDown, AW Rampage Friday, sometimes Collision on Saturdays. Also, WWE Premium Live events I do. And I do movie reviews, DVD, Blu-ray 4K updates. I upload old school commercials. So come over to my channel and subscribe. Let me know if you like my videos and have some fun on my channel.
As for myself, you guys, like you can follow me on Twitter at the actually no wait, it's not Twitter anymore, it's X at this _. I like featuring all the shows: Raw, SmackDown, Impact, AEW Dynamite, AEW Rampage, AEW Collision. So that's that. And thank you guys all so much for watching. For the continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. I will say this. Great review, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night too.
And I gotta say, it's been a pleasure, Patilla, having me on reviewing these shows, and I just have a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you on here too. So like I was saying, about my Power Month did not go as planned, unfortunately, but I did do 3 videos, an unboxing of the Black and Gold Dino Megazord. I ranked all the Power Ranger themes from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I just released a video that was recorded during Power Month, but unfortunately, due to some technical mishaps, I was unable to release it until today. I talked about the anniversary special, so check that out if you haven't already done so. And I actually will see you guys tomorrow after AEW All Out,
which I pray will be a good show, but I'm not hyped for
it. Yeah, same. I hope it's a good show. Would it be as strong as All In? I guess we gotta wait and see.
Yeah, it won't be as good as All In.
Bye.